Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak, previewing Week 17 in the NFL. We're talking with professional sports bettor Teddy Covers. We're going to take a look at Jacksonville, Houston right now. Teddy Covers, there's no lines out market-wide for this one that I'm seeing. I guess that's because Hoyer is in the final stages of a concussion protocol, and if he passes, he will start, although Houston had a great win with Brandon Weeden at quarterback last week. The Houston, of course, rolled the Titans. They're now 6-2 against the spread over their last 8, so they seem like they're the kind of team that does get good covers against lower tierish teams. And Jacksonville, again, a team with flaws, but always with potential for a big offensive performance. So maybe we lean Houston and the over when the lines come out. What do you think, Teddy?
Yeah, and look, the line on this game, if Weeden is going to start for the Texans, the line will probably come in the 5.5 range, maybe as high as 6. If we see Hoyer, the Texans will likely be over a touchdown. Maybe in the 8.5 range, something like that. I think the difference in the market perception between the two quarterbacks is very much valid. Brian Hoyer, while he's no Tom Brady, he's certainly a replacement level quarterback. Brandon Weeden, not so much in that regard. And I know Weeden had a great game against Tennessee last week. I don't know if the Titans brought their best effort in that contest. And, of course, Houston's a team that really hasn't been able to run the football at any point this season. And even last week, playing with a big lead, trying to grind out clock, they struggled to get first downs on the ground. So a quarterback play for the Texans really is paramount when we try to consider their chances against a Jaguars team that has been able to put up points in bunches against just about everyone they faced this year, but hasn't really been able to get a whole lot of stops.
All right, so again, Houston rolled the Titans last week. Jacksonville got beaten at the Saints pretty bad. If Hoyer starts and we see 7.5, 8.5, do you think that Houston might be a good bet, even giving that many points?
I'm not in love with laying that type of a price with the Texans, and a lot of it has to do with my respect for Jacksonville's offensive capabilities.
Right.
I don't think a lot of bettors out there know that. Number one in the NFL in touchdown passes this year is Tom Brady. Number 2 is Blake freaking Bortles.
No, that's not true.
Number 2 in the NFL in touchdown passes this year.
Wow.
Yardage, passing yardage. Blake Bortles is, I think he's 5th. Is he 5th or 6th? I mean, his numbers, when you look at them in the aggregate, he throws a ton of picks.
Yeah.
But his numbers in the aggregate are really impressive. And those Jags receivers are giving everybody trouble downfield. Week in, week out, game in, week out. Jacksonville has been able to put up points. The defense is the weak link, something of a surprise considering Gus Bradley came in there as a defensive guru and they put a bunch of money in terms of free agent signings and draft choices on the defensive side of the football that really haven't panned out. But the Jaguars offense, when you look at some of their stats, you go, wow, really? Exactly. You do a double take, just like you did when I said that, that Bortles number 2 in the NFL in touchdown passes.
I still don't believe it, though.
And you wouldn't have believed it if I had told you without showing you the stats.
No, I still don't believe it.
But that's why I'm not particularly enamored with the concept of laying a big price with the Texans here. I would probably prefer to look at the total in this game. First time these two teams met, 31-20. They got in the 50s. Jacksonville has been a consistent over team. I've talked about how well Bortles has played in terms of finding receivers downfield, and I talked about how weak that defense is. Houston's certainly not an over team for the majority of the season, but if Hoyer plays, the offense is better, and DeAndre Hopkins continue to make plays. So lean here is definitely towards the over as opposed to either of the two sides.
So if Hoyer starts, what do you think the total will be? Like 48, maybe 48.5?
I think it'll be lower than that. First meeting was 43.5. Houston's not a team getting lined, 47, 48 very often. I would expect to see something in the 45 range with Hoyer behind center, maybe 46, somewhere in that neighborhood. And at that price, so of course, it'd be great to be able to pick the total and then bet it in every game. But if we see a total in that 45.5 range, I would definitely look to the over.
That sounds like it might also be one of the better bets, one of the best bets of the week, even at the over. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. What do you think about that?
Let's see the number. Let's see the market moves. Right. Let's see the weather. Let's see how things play out throughout the course of the week. But, Houston, they can't run, so they got to throw. Jacksonville can't stop anyone, but they can throw downfield. Sure. It certainly makes a lot of sense.
And with DeAndre Hopkins in there, I mean, against anyone, with any quarterback, that's always a threat for a big scoring day. All right, Teddy Covers, I'm leaning over as well. We'll see where the total comes out and where it closes. Thanks so much, Teddy.